1776, a constitution was written to protect white, rich, property-owning Christian men. Why on God's green earth would we assume that that document is protecting anybody else? If we keep looking at that document to be our moral meter, we are going to consistently fail.
Listen, anybody who's been following politics for any considerable amount of time knows that the Republican Party is not concerned with principle in any form, which is always funny when they act like there's such constitutionalism, like they're just upholding these principles. But, whether it be, they're supposed to be for responsibility and pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, yet they're the party that gives the most to the upper class. They're the party that gives the most to corporations. They're the party who gives the most in terms of bailouts. The Democrats do this too, but the Republican Party, they're just a little bit more. They're like the big brother. The Democrats are the little brother.
I felt angry. I felt enraged. And I tried to make this TikTok, but I don't want to make the TikTok when I'm angry because I lose my ability to be articulate. But I don't think this rage is going away, so I'm going to give you my opinion now. This is what it boils down to. It boils down, their argument is based on the fact that the Constitution in 1776 and amendments thus after in no way stood for women's rights to get an abortion. There's no way you can read into it so that the implications of women's rights to get an abortion is founded in the Constitution.
Whether it be, their ideas of small government, and here they are taking away women's right to abortion, but also treating Donald Trump like a dictator, wanting him back, even though he lost twice, even though he got impeached twice, even though his whole life is a fraud, treating him as the one, the king, their man. Whether it be their views on practically anything, at the end of the day, they're just corrupt politicians. But we know that the GOP does not stand for principle.
And I know there's been amendments, but I don't care. Because the foundational governance of that country and where all these laws come from is from a document that is based on owning women and owning African Americans and displacing and committing a genocide against the indigenous population.
And see, that's the thing about laws. It's all about whatever the argument is and who has a stronger argument. But at the end of the day, Roe v. Wade was set and established over 50 years ago. This is done. We should be moving on. This should not be something that we're talking about, but yet we're going backwards in time.
Neil Gorsuch, for whom you voted, don't you think he's probably going to vote to overturn Roe versus Wade if given the chance?
I actually don't.
Is Susan Collins the most gullible member of Congress or just the most dishonest? In this moment, she could do something. She could join Democrats in eliminating the filibuster. She could help codify Roe, but she won't. She isn't going to do it. So at the end of the day, she's no better than Mitch McConnell.
There are many who believe that Judge Kavanaugh will be the vote that results in abortion becoming illegal in the United States, and I wonder if you're concerned about that.
I could not vote for a judge who had demonstrated hostility to Roe v. Wade because it would indicate a lack of respect for precedent.
Was purportedly pro-choice has been under fire this week after a leaked decision from the Supreme Court shows they're going to overturn Roe versus Wade. In an unprecedented leak, this case, which comes out of Mississippi, reveals that the court is currently aligned to completely overturn Roe versus Wade, which means abortion won't be a fundamental right everywhere in this country anymore. It'll leave it up to the states to decide how they want to regulate abortion. And because Republicans have been working toward this for decades, there are dozens of states, red states, already with laws on the books lined up, ready to go. As soon as that decision comes down, that will immediately ban abortion. So where does Susan Collins fit into this mix? So you have to go back a couple years to the Supreme Court nominations for Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. Both of them, nominated by Trump, were grilled by the Senate for their stance on Roe versus Wade. What would they do if a case came before them that challenged the constitutionality of abortion rights in this country? Would they vote to overturn it? Would they undo past precedent? Or would they let it stand? There's a term for this, stare decisis. And time again, Gorsuch and Kavanaugh both said they wouldn't touch Roe versus Wade. They'd leave it intact. It's precedent. It's good law. Very few people believed them. One person, however, did. Susan Collins.
I do not believe that Brett Kavanaugh will overturn
His precedents are overturned.
He noted that Roe had been reaffirmed 19 years later by Planned Parenthood versus Casey, and that it was precedent on precedent. He said it should be extremely rare that it be overturned.